What is up, guys? Godzilla here, and in today's episode of My Honest Opinions, I'm going to be discussing the strength of Burning Godzilla. My last episode of My Honest Opinions was on the strength of Destroya, because that's a pretty controversial topic. So, basically, another sort of controversial topic, it's just not talked about as much, is the strength of Burning Godzilla. Now, popular belief is that Burning Godzilla is like one of the strongest Godzillas, He's up there with GMK Godzilla, 2014 Godzilla, 2004 Godzilla. People just think he's so powerful. Now, unlike in last episode where I said people nowadays are like underestimating Destroya, I think people are overestimating Burning Godzilla, like really, because, okay, I'm just going to explain the argument of the other side, because that will kind of lead into my opinion. So what they're saying is that Godzilla is stronger than he was when he is Burning Godzilla. In other words, Burning Godzilla is stronger than regular Godzilla, because he's like supercharged, he's glowing with radiation, and he's ready to kick some butt, That seems like a pretty decent, well-supported logic, right? And they're also saying that the reason Godzilla's like this in the first place was because he was like pumped with a lot of radiation. So, so first of all, I just want to say that Burning Godzilla, the way it was created, a lot of people don't realize this. His island, Birth Island, or Bass Island, or Base Island, or whatever, it has like a few different names. But the island they're seen on in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, that island basically exploded from I think there were like uranium deposits in the island or something, like underground, that exploded. I don't even really know that well, so don't quote me, but I know that it was a natural occurrence. I'm pretty sure that the island exploded with some form of radiation due to the elements underground. So two things happened. It turned Godzilla into Burning Godzilla, and it turned Little Godzilla into Godzilla Jr. Now, again, people are saying because the island exploded and Godzilla's, been pumped with radiation, so much radiation, that must mean he's so much stronger, Well, I think that is incorrect. Now, let me explain. The Heisei series started off with Godzilla 1984, and the size of Godzilla 1984, he was, he was 80 meters. Same within Godzilla vs. Biollante and the first half of Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. But then in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, what happened was, okay, so these people go back in time, take Godzillasaurus to the present day, which is the 1990s at the time the movie came out. So they took Godzillasaurus back to the present, so Godzilla was never created. But what happened was, they basically threw him in the ocean. And what happened was modern day nuclear submarines and just overall radiation in the atmosphere and stuff mutated Godzilla again. Or, mutated the Godzillasaurus back into Godzilla. So this new Godzilla was actually 100 meters as opposed to 80 meters. because the radiation that was used to mutate him was actually more powerful than the radiation from the 1950s, because it was modern radiation from modern technology. So this is all explained in the movies. I'm not making this up. This is all true. At least this part. So yes, we saw the effect of the added radiation in that movie. Godzilla grew approximately 20 meters. So, what I'm going to ask as sort of a counter argument to all the people who think Burning Godzilla is strong, why didn't the explosion of that island just make Godzilla bigger, just like it did in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah with the modern day nuclear technology? Yes, instead of making him bigger, it just made him break out in these sort of burning patches. Now, from about here on out is mostly theoretical ideas that I've had. There's nothing there to prove it, but I'm just using my logic to try and figure out if a burning Godzilla would really be more powerful than a regular Godzilla. So burning Godzilla, so instead of growing bigger, Godzilla just became burning Godzilla and stayed the exact same size of 100 meters. Now, I have to figure out how to say this. Like, if the more radiation was the better, if it was just that simple, then I think Godzilla would have grown to maybe 120 meters or something like that. But the thing is, Godzilla has to have a limit. You know, there's only so much radiation he can take in. Same with, like, food for us humans. You know, eating food is good. You know, you can't go, like, 3 days, or no, I think it's like a week or something, without eating food. But you can't eat like 20 pounds of food in one day. That's unhealthy, and it's gonna make you, not feel good, and it's gonna have a negative effect on your body. We know that Godzilla metabolizes nuclear radiation. We know this from Godzilla 1984. So Godzilla metabolizes nuclear radiation just as us humans metabolize food. So he gets his energy from atomic radiation, basically. So, let's see, where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, so too much radiation has got to be bad for Godzilla, just like too much food is bad for us. So, what that did was, instead of making Godzilla bigger, it just made him, like there was too much radiation for his body. Maybe this would be a good example. A person eating a lot of food, if they eat the right amount of it, they're going to get tall, right? But if they eat too much at one time, they're going to get fat. That's just how stuff works. I mean, that's just for example. The same thing is happening here with Godzilla. 100 meters had to have been his limit because he grew from 80 to 100. But then from 100 on, he just became burning Godzilla. So, this is kind of a far-fetched idea, but I think it makes sense. So, if you guys could just bear with me and try to understand this. So it's basically what's happening is Godzilla, he's had too much radiation, he's maybe going into a state of heart attack, for like the equivalent of humans, and he's just unhealthy. So, I hope that makes sense to you guys. I've been explaining it for a long time. It's already been like 10 minutes, but okay, so answer me this now. If you're having a heart attack, do you really think you're going to become a better, healthier person or a stronger person? No, of course not. You're having a heart attack. That's what's going on here with Godzilla. He is not processing all this radiation, and it is having a negative effect on his body. So, if anything, it's making him weaker, not stronger. This wouldn't make Godzilla stronger at all, in my opinion. I mean, okay, the one thing I think Burning Godzilla has over a regular Godzilla is his red spiral breath. That thing is really powerful. It can pack a lot of damage. So, yes, Burning Godzilla does have a very powerful atomic breath. So that's just sort of my theory on the strength of Burning Godzilla. I'm just gonna quickly summarize this all one more time. Um, he reached his limit with radiation, so instead of growing, he just sort of um, went into a state of bad health, which made him weaker. That's what Burning Godzilla is to me, at least. So, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you didn't enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please tell me your thoughts on the power of Burning Godzilla in the comments below. And I will see you guys on my next video.